Hey guys, today we're going to be doing a repair for Mr. Joseph Conroy. As you can see, we got our wind damaged shingle here. Got some more damaged shingles. We're on the back slope of Mr. Conroy's property today. I'm missing shingle up there. It is 80 degrees today. I am by myself. I got my tripod set up and I also have my replacement shingle. So before we get started on the repair, I do want to point out, since this is the damaged shingle will be doing the repair, you can take a look right there. You can actually see the seam. So to make my life a bit easier, what I'm gonna do is just mark that for myself. That way I know my exact workspace area. Alright. And again, this is the workspace area, guys. We're gonna go ahead and start by conducting the repair. Let's just take a quick look at the rest of the roof. So you got a missing shingle there, some more creasing, but this is what I really want to show you guys. Look at all this damage here. Again, this is the back slope of Mr. Conroy's roof, and we're doing this repair on one of the lowest points. You got a lot of wind damage here, guys. Then you got some more missing over there, some more creasing. All right, let's go ahead and start this repair. Oh, another crease shingle, another one. Make sure I got a good angle for you guys. I got a good angle. You're recording. Now the tools we're going to be using, we have our standard pry bar with a P-hook on the end. Now we're going to be using this tool to unseal the shingles, and as we cut away from the tar line, see how smooth and just thinner it is compared to this roof snake. We won't be using this tool. This is a much larger tool, and we don't want to cause any damage to the shingle while unsealing it. We will be using this tool to actually nail the shingle back into place. And we also have our 16-ounce hammer. All right, so let's go ahead and start by unsealing the shingle and make sure I'm in a good position. Now what you're gonna see, this is already unsealed, so, well, it's missing. But what you're gonna see is, as I cut away from the tar line, I keep my fingers up in the air, palm down on the shingle I'm working on, and I never put my fingers rested on the shingle that I'm cutting away the tar line. I go in, check for mat, good. Alright, we're good on that row. And the reason I do this, guys, is just so I keep nice, even pressure as I cut away from the tar line. I want to keep nice, even pressure. I don't want to rip into the shingle, cause any unnecessary damage. All we're trying to do right now is conduct this repair. So I will be gentle as possible. Any force that is being used will be used just enough to make sure that the repair gets done. I keep my palm down, fingers up in the air, nice even pressure along the way I cut away, and that way we're able to just unseal without any issues. All right, last row. So now that we got everything unsealed, when I go in and I take a look for the nail, I'm not lifting up the shingle more than I have to, just enough to see where the nail hole is. Hold on here. And as you can see, guys, I only lift it up if there are none on the bottom. Not feeling anything. I'm only lifting up the shingle with my thumb, and the rest of my fingers are up in the air. Shingle isn't lifting more than 30 degrees. Not seeing any nails. Oh, found one finally. You can see, I go in there one-handed. Shingle doesn't lift any higher than the nail itself. And then we go in with the P-hook, remove the nail. Alright. Didn't really look like there was anything on that bottom row. Very strange. Alright. Again, I lift the shingle up with just my thumb. The rest of my fingers are up in the air. If need be, I'll rest them on the shingle above. Never the same shingle I'm working on. Alright, go in there one hand, and I remove the nail with the P-hook. As you can see, this is coming out really smooth. Now I see why they didn't have any nails on the bottom. Looks like they just doubled up the whole way on the top, which you really don't see often. Alright, last double up. There's one more nail in there. And again, I'm not lifting up the shingle any higher than the nail allows me to, which is 30 degrees. I put a little pressure, make sure the nail goes through. And then I'm able to go in there one-handed with the P-hook and just remove this nail as so. So now that we removed our damaged shingle, oh, did we miss a nail? It's a hidden one. I just gotta do some love taps. It went in at a bit of an angle. And again, the reason I'm doing this is because they went in at a bit of an angle with the nail, and it is giving us a hard time to pull out. All right, we got that. Let's see if that's everything. Oh, let's see what other hidden nails we got. I'm not feeling anything. Alright, so if there are hidden nails and they're pushing at an angle, I'm not going to be able to reach them by normal means. So what I'm going to have to do gonna have to pop the rest of the shingle up. Is this a nail that's hidden? I think that's one nail. Yep, not gonna be able to get it by normal means. They're just hidden nails. I'm gonna have to pop the shingle up. I'm gonna keep pressure along the top. That way I don't do any damage. So it looks like we had 2 hidden ones. Yeah, 2 hidden nails. If I can remove them now. Very strange. Don't even see the nail hole for them. I'm not. Yeah. So if they're not being a nail hole for them, I'm just gonna leave them in place. I might have just did the install wrong. Alright, so here we have our damaged shingle. As you can see, this was the ripped shingle. I did see a bit of granule loss, so I conducted a repair. As I did mention in the video, there were 2 hidden nails, so I did have to take the shingle. Heard the camera overheat, so I did have to start the video again. But as you can see, guys, this was the ripped shingle. Now let's go ahead and conduct the repair. Make sure I got a good view for you guys. Alright, so we got our brand new shingle. Let's go ahead and conduct our repair. Make sure it goes in nice. Alright, so we got our shingle in. Let's go ahead and start putting our nails. This is the tool we're going to be using to conduct the repair, or roof snake. Now again, we just go in with the nail, and the shingle isn't lifting any higher than the tool allows me to, which is 30 degrees. We then go up, and then a bit of an angle. We then go in with the nail, and we hammer away into new holes for obvious reasons. Alright, we go in, make sure it's nice and flush, and then we continue with the rest. And I'm only hammering just enough to make sure I get through the decking, guys. I'm not doing any over exaggerations with my movements. Just enough to make sure it gets through the decking. Whew, it's hot. Alright. So yeah, tool's not lifting any higher than the roof snake allows me to, which is 30 degrees. I then go in with my hammer, and I hammer just enough to make sure it gets through the decking. Now, I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but I was seeing a bit of granule loss, as you can see on the shingle when I was just lifting it up. And point out again, there were 2 hidden nails that we saw earlier. So I just wanted to point that out. I don't know how the rest of the roof is installed, but if that's how the rest of the roof is installed, that would definitely be a big issue to conduct any future repairs. Gonna do a little less chatting while I put these last 3 nails in, but again, I'm seeing a bit of granule loss. Last nail. Alright, so that is all the nails. Go ahead and take a closer look, guys. Alright, so here's a close look at the direct result from conducting the repair. So as you can see, we got our new shingle, but we seem to have damage here, 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 as well as here, as a direct result from the repair. And I'll take a closer look with you guys so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. But this is a direct result from the repair. And again, I didn't lift the shingle up any higher than I needed to, just enough to fit my tools in. Oh, you do have a little bit of dip as well, just enough to fit my tools in. And I didn't use my hammer harder than I had to, just enough to make sure that it got through the decking. All right, let me just fix my zipper. But this is a direct result from conducting the repair, guys. And with that being said, being on the bottom slope or the lowest point of the slope, if we continue to push repairs upwards, we're just going to be running into the same issues, guys. So with that being said, let's do good by Mr. Conroy and get him a new roof. But this repair is going to be deemed a failure. Thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you guys have a blessed day.